July 20th, 1969. The date when Apollo 11 first landed on the moon and Neil Armstrong set his infamous first step on the moon. Not only did it start a worldwide phenomenon, but it also ended something: the space race. The space race between the US and the USSR had many positive effects on the US, such as advancements in technology, helped close tensions with the USSR, and made better space-oriented technology and national security. Many of the handy electronic and mechanical devices that we use today that we take granted for were created during the space race. A very interesting thing that I learned were that laptops were initially designed for NASA to bring on board the spaceships to help the astronauts on space navigation, to also help with other functions of the spacecraft. Smoke detectors were also originally created to detect fumes inside the spacecrafts. Other devices were made for similar reasons, like cordless tools, blood pressure monitors, and ear thermometers. These are just a few examples of inventions created during the space race. The space race also held diplomatic issues. The space race also happened to lower tensions between the US and the USSR during the Cold War and create important offices and documents such as the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs and the Outer Space Treaty. These offices and documents would benefit mankind by securing our safety from nuclear war and help to settle disputes over space-related issues. Another important part was in February of 1962 when Soviet leader Khrushchev sent a letter to John F. Kennedy to see if he was willing to cooperate on the space-oriented information, such as exchanging weather information, making maps of Earth, and opening up better communications for space-oriented purposes. Later, the two leaders met at a summit meeting and exchanged more information and gained better grips on the relations of what was going on during the Cold War and the space race. Out of all the outcomes of the space race, one of the most important was the Standard Satellite. Not only does the United States have 455 active satellites in orbit, but 128 of those are designed for military use. With these satellites, the United States has been able to help troops in combat in the Persian Gulf War and the Iraq War. Every day, engineers are developing new ways to use satellites to our own advantages in either military or commercial uses. Many pieces of technology that we use every day require satellites in order to work. If it weren't for satellites, your GPS wouldn't work. And how would you find Grandma's house? We would never know. After all the trouble the United States had to go through just to land one man on the moon, it sure did pay off well in the end. Not only did the United States benefit from the space race, but so did humanity as a whole. Maybe next time you go on your laptop you can say, "Hey, thanks space race for this wonderful piece of technology." Then you can think of how helpful the space race has been to the United States and be thankful for where it has gotten it today.